Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav has been expelled from the Samajwadi Party for 6 years by his father and party chief Mulayam Singh Yadav.
वो दिन दूर नहीं होगा जब इस सारा कारोबार इस भीम ऐप के द्वारा चलने वाला है.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the government's Bheem mobile app to boost digital transactions in the country. It is D-Day as demonetization deadline closes in. Magic Bricks now goes on ground, finds out that if after acute cash crunch for 50 days, have things become better? Rural India continues to be among the worst hit as the demonetization drive hits day 50. Magic Bricks Now's ground report finds out that farmers and daily wage workers are unable to even make ends meet. Shocking incident reported from Bhopal. Kids jailed for over 3 hours for demanding a playground. First up, the big political development coming in from Uttar Pradesh, where after a long-drawn interfamilial conflict, the ruling Samajwadi Party has split. In fact, Samajwadi Party's chief, Mulayam Singh Yadav, has expelled his son and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav, for 6 years from the party. Mulayam's cousin, Ram Gopal Yadav, has also been expelled for the same duration. Keep in mind, Ram Gopal Yadav belonged to Akhilesh Yadav's camp and in fact was part of the list of candidates that Akhilesh Yadav released on his own. Let's now listen to what Mulayam Singh Yadav had to say.
अभी आपके सामने खबर आ जाती, लेकिन तब तक किया गया, इसलिए हम प्रोफेसर रामपाल से 6 साल के लिए पार्टी से निष्कासित करते हैं कि इन्होंने पार्टी को बहुत कमजोर किया है और चुनाव के वक्त ऐसी समस्या जानबूझ के पैदा की है. और मैं जो बताऊंगा दूसरी बात को, और ये जो मुख्यमंत्री जी हैं वो नहीं समझ रहे. मुख्यमंत्री जी का भविष्य ही खत्म कर रहा है ये प्रोफेसर रामपाल. जो मुख्यमंत्री हैं अब उनको भी अपना सादा करके कामों में कर रहे. मुख्यमंत्री तो निर्विवाद होता है. क्या हम नहीं रहे मुख्यमंत्री? ऐसे मौके आए कभी नहीं आए. अयोध्या कांड हुआ तो हमें मेरी इच्छा के विरुद्ध भी देश की एकता के लिए हमारे सुरक्षा बलों ने जो कार्रवाई की उसको नैतिकता के नाते मैंने पार्टी समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार भंग की और जनता भी चले गए. हार गए, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं.
Away from the political drama in Uttar Pradesh and on to day 50 of the demonetization drive. On one hand, people are talking about the pain that citizens in cities are going through, which has reduced to some extent. But across other parts of India, pain is still being felt by those who live in villages. Here is our first ground report. Take a look.
Around 200 kilometers from Mumbai, Lasalgaon serves as the onion hub of the country, contributing almost 80% to exports. But once a buoyant and noisy market, Lasalgaon is hit hard by PM Modi's demonetization drive. I'm here at Lasalgaon, which is the largest wholesale market of onion in Asia, and it does not seem as if pain has decreased here after these 50 days. The farmers in this market in Lasalgaon tell us that due to the cash crunch, they have been forced to ask their family members to help them in plucking out onions. They say that most of these people have also involved their females, have also involved their wives and their kids, in many cases even their parents, to help them in bringing this produce from their farms onto this place in Lasalgaon where it has been auctioned. Some of them also tell us that they have to stand in the queue till date, even after 50 days have got over, for 2 to 3 days. Some of them have told us that they stood in the line for 2 days, and that is when they got a measly 2,000 rupees. They are saying that the amount that they are getting from the bank is definitely not enough for them to meet the production cost of onion.
28 रुपया 2 3 गुड़ दत्ता 611
Now I'm surrounded here in Lasangao by farmers who claim that this drop in onion prices which we have been seeing for the past 1 month has been detrimental for them. Another thing that has happened in the past 1 month is demonetization, and they are saying they are not being able to take out the money which is there, which is stuck in the banks. आप मुझे ये बताओ कि ये जो प्याज गिरा है एक महीने के अंदर, कहाँ से कहाँ तक दाम गिरा है?
पहले 1100-1200 तक बिकता था, अब भी 500-600 तक बिक रहा है। एक लाइन में एक नग जाता है 700-750, बाकी सब 500 या 400 ही बिक रहे हैं। इसको किसान खुश नहीं है इस भाव से।
इधर बहुत दिक्कत होती है, पैसा नहीं रहता ना हाथ में, डीजल डालने के लिए पैसा नहीं रहता।
कभी कभी एक दिन में नहीं 4-4 दिन में जाके निकलना पड़ता है। एक दिन में जाके वो बताते हैं पैसा खत्म हो गया।
Farmers here have been telling us that due to this demonetization they are facing severe crisis. Most of them are telling us that they have to work on their farms, and that too till late night, so that they can have this produce. Due to this drop in the prices, because there is excess onions in the market, farmers are not getting their due. They say that the production cost is not, they are not being able to recover the production cost, and coupled with demonetization, they are not able to take out the money which is in their banks. They are saying that the money that they are getting from the bank is not even sufficient for them to transport their onions from the farms to this mandi where the auction is taking place. It's been an emergency-like situation for the farmers here with inadequate currency in the system. Prices have seen a huge dip in the past 1 month, to the extent that even the production cost is not being recovered.
तो खर्चा तो दूर का है, खाने पीने की किल्लत पड़ गई। अब जो किसान है, जो कि दूर दूर से आए हैं, हम जलगांव से आए, तो अब हमें आते 1000 रुपया खर्चा लग जाने खाने पीने का, 2 दिन से आयल है। अब जो है तो परेशानी तो बहुत है।
हमें मजदूरों को पैसा देना पड़ता है, उनको तो 10-10 या 50-50 के नोट ही चाहिए, और वो अवेलेबल नहीं होते मार्केट में।
At a place where mobile signals are hard to get at times, internet or digital transactions are a far cry. But with the banks going dry on cash, even the daily needs are hard to meet. These are the farmers who have been telling us that even though 50 days are over, the problems that they were facing have not come to an end. Now, as I had pointed out clearly to you, most of them do not even have a smartphone. They have a basic phone with which they are not able to do transactions. With camera person Mahesh, this is Aishwarya Paliwal from Lassalgaon for Magic Bricks Now.
In fact, we're now being joined on the big story by a farmer and activist, Mr. Chengal Reddy from Hyderabad. Mr. Chengal Reddy, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the big story on Magic Bricks Now. I want to start off asking you a really simple question. Our ground reports are, as you must have just seen, that was from Lassalgaon near Nashik in Maharashtra, and there, every single farmer over there is finding difficulty 50 days down of the demonetization drive, and we're supposed to have normalcy back sometime tomorrow. But then I want to understand from you, as a farmer, as an activist, has rural India been the pain point of this entire demonetization drive?
What you said about onion is absolutely correct. Now the same rule applies to banana, potato, all the vegetable farmers, flower growers, all the fish farming, chicken and mutton farming, eggs, everyone. See, in my view, this is virtual an economic tsunami for the Indian farm sector. Well, I, like everybody else, were very enthusiastic when this demonetization has been announced, because I didn't know actually what is this denomination and all that. But if you see this, what you said is a very, very small fraction. But this is going to affect not less than 300 to 400 million farmers across the country. Now this onion, you look at 2-3 things here, you yourself have projected. First of all, if they want to harvest the produce which is there, they have no money to pay labor, so therefore the family has to work. And then they have to borrow from somebody to transport it, because the diesel is not available. Now having come to the market, there is nobody to purchase. Now then you look at the other side, from Nashik to the other places like Bombay, Delhi and all that, where it is supposed to be taken, the transportation, again the big problem has come, because in the last 50 days the entire transport sector has got destabilized. Now, if you take it to Delhi, Azadpur Mandi, there again the big problem has come, because there again this cash problem is there. There again this, look at the way the number of people unemployed in the transport sector or retail or outside. And then finally at the street corner, Nukkad pe jo hai, there is absolutely, I would say, it's a big catastrophe. Honestly, we are all waiting for Mr. Modi. I don't know what he is going to say, but something has gone wrong in this demonetization. And farmers are the biggest losers in this. Yes, please go ahead.
I just was trying to repeat the phrases that you said, Mr. Chengal Reddy. Demonetization has gone really wrong somewhere, and farmers are the worst hit. There is no doubt about the fact that farmers are indeed, we here in cities talk about the inconveniences that we face because of the demonetization drive, standing in queues, and then we were given this argument that, if people can stand in the Indian army, then why can't you stand in the queues? But what about these soldiers who make sure that there's food on our plates? That is the farmers of this country. There is, rice or grains on our plate and, vegetables on our plate. Mr. Chengal Reddy, I want to understand, it's not just the vegetable farmers, right? And it's not just the difference between landowning farmers and laborer farmers. It's the entire agricultural class across the spectrum, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let me analyze, as you rightly said, it is not that, you see, what the country, many of the people, economists, policy makers, people in city do not understand is the ripple effect of this disaster that has come the farm sector. See, already I have seen in Andhra Pradesh that in the rice production area, the investments have come down by almost 50 to 60%. Because if you see, 85% are small holdings, and these 85% people get the so-called credit by way of cash, fertilizer, pesticides from the informal sector. It could be a village vegetable, it could be a fertilizer dealer, or it could be a village headman, it could be a person in the village who owns some land. Now, these people, for the first time in the 60, 70 years, are scared now. They don't want to give money to anybody because they don't know whether that money will come back at all. So therefore, the credit flow to this entire informal, that was coming from informal sector to the farming sector, is stopped. Now, the consequence, you can ask any fertilizer company today, their sales has come down by almost 30, 40, 50%. And in the coming months, that is for this Rabi, normally what happens, December, January, February, and then it comes there. Now, the investments are, by January it is to give me more fertilizer because the crop will be coming, and then during this period, there is also need for investments on pesticides and insecticides and weed labor, weed sites. Now, where is the money with anybody? Now, honestly, I don't know. See, I am scared of the greatest problem in this country that may occur is there is going to be food shortage. There may be a food riots. That's the extreme. It's not that I want it, but things are really so bad that the economists, the Prime Minister, I am afraid of one thing. Is the Prime Minister aware of the ground situation of this country? Yesterday he was telling that after tomorrow, if somebody has the 10,000 rupee notes, he wants to put them to jail. I'm asking a very simple to the Prime Minister and all his colleagues, sir, gentlemen, do you know that the fishermen, how many fishermen are there? 17 million fishermen are there who don't understand, nothing of this. And do you know the number of tribals? And do you know the number of nomads in Rajasthan or in the Himalayan ranges or in the deserts of these places or in the tribal areas of Northeast or Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand? You see, how do you expect these tribals to understand these demonetization issues and then your so-called this card, that card? It's something, as I told you, I am scared as a farmers activist of 30 years. I'm honestly worried
Mr. Chengal Reddy,
that people don't understand the magnitude of the catastrophe that struck the farm sector. City people, okay, leave it, those who are in the employment, maybe your incomes will come down little on up. But what you people must understand, the entire economy today depends on this foundation of farm sector. Now let me tell you, I have seen in the last 10-15 days, your two-wheelers has come down, usage. And your consumption of first consumer goods is going to come down. And it's not going to be one day affair. It is going to be, my friends, it is going to have effect for the next 2 to 3, 4 years. I don't know, unless tomorrow Prime Minister announces some really midterm corrections. Because if Mr. Modi thinks that he can just make some statements and get on, no, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you a simplest reason. When in 2014 Mr. Modi came to power, he announced and told our farmers that he will pay us minimum support price at cost of production plus 50%. But within 5 months, Mr. Modi's government filed an affidavit to the Supreme Court of India that they cannot pay and they will not pay. The first promise he broke there. Then what is that he has done in the last 30 months to the farm sector? Tell me. Has he ever been able to understand? No. He said he has opened some accounts. But you see, if you see the so-called banking sector reach to the rural people, it's hardly about 25-30%. Recently, he took this decision of avoiding cooperatives. As a farmers activist, you see the good, bad, ugly part of it, it could be there. Now you see Kotak Mahindra, there was some scandal. And then some international banks, there was scandal. National banks, there was scandal. Why did Mr. Modi avoid cooperative banks? I don't understand. You see, you have to take them into confidence. You have to trust them like you trust anybody else. So the credit problem is the biggest crunch. And here the issue which the nation must understand is, please remember, we farmers almost 80 to 90% depend on our credit needs from the informal sector. Now that's all taken away. Now we don't know where the next rupee is going to come to us. That is the real heart-burning problem.
Mr. Chengal Reddy, there were questions about whether the Prime Minister took the Reserve Bank of India into confidence. And the Reserve Bank of India did say a couple of days ago that the decision was consulted and done at 5:30 p.m. before PM Modi announced it at 8 p.m. So taking cooperative banks into confidence is a very valid point that you make. But let's now focus, Mr. Chengal Reddy, on daily wage earners. In fact, they are facing a very hard time as their livelihood was dependent solely on cash transactions. Aishwarya Paliwal, my colleague, went on ground in Vedapur in Nashik to check out the ground reality of daily wage earners. Take a look at what she found.
If there's someone who has been hit the most by the demonetization drive, it's the daily wage earners in rural India. They have been dealing in cash for years, and with no bank accounts to their names, their livelihood has been hit hard by this drive.
I'm surrounded by daily wage earners who earn their livelihood on a day-to-day basis. What they tell us is that even though 50 days are over, the problems that they have been facing have not diminished. They take this 2,000 rupee note which banks or ATMs are giving them, or the ones which they get from landlords, from farmers, and when they take that 2,000 rupee note to a shop, even if it's to buy essential items, or even if they take that 2,000 rupee note to vegetable sellers, then they do not get the items that they are looking for, because most of the shopkeepers shoo them away saying that they need change. So even though 50 days are over, the problems that these people have been facing are definitely not over.
बैंक में अकाउंट है आपका?
नहीं
तो 14 सालों से काम कर रही हो, पैसे कैसे मिलते थे?
पहले सांगितलं ऐसे देते नहीं काम वाले जा काम करते वहाँ.
हाँ, तो अभी जब 2000 का नोट मिलता है तो बाहर जाके क्या दिक्कत हो रही है?
बाहर जाके वो किराए वाले हमको ऐसे दुकानदार बोलते छुट्टी लाओ. 200 का किराना लिया तो फिर वो छुट्टी देते नहीं. और सब्जी वाले भी बोलते 20 रुपये ऐसे 10 रुपये छुट्टी लाओ. 2000 हम कहाँ से छुट्टी देने.
और जैसे बच्चों का अगर स्कूल का फीस वगैरह होता है, या अगर बच्चों को कुछ सामान चाहिए रहता है, तो उसमें थोड़ा दिक्कत हुआ है आपको?
हाँ, तो बच्चे बोलते 100 रुपये दो, तो 2000 की नोट कहाँ से देने की उनको. ये खेती वाले हमको ऐसे चेक देते, हमारा बैंक में अकाउंट नहीं, फिर वो हम काम करने का खेती में क्या वो चेक लेके जाने का, उधर बैंक में अकाउंट भी नहीं हमारा.
मेडिकल में दवाई नहीं मिलती थी, 2000 की नोट लेके गए तो वो बोले छुट्टी लाओ, फिर हमको छुट्टा लाना पड़ा. बाद में हमने दवाई ली.
Ever since the announcement was made on November 8th, the life of these women has turned upside down. They are hard pressed for cash to meet their daily needs. They are living in a hope that things will change soon. With camera person Mahesh, this is Aishwarya Paliwal from Lasalgaon for Magic Bricks Now.
Mr. Chengal Reddy, I want to bring the focus to the daily wage earners. You're talking about the farmers, land-owning farmers who can't find laborers right now because payments are made in cash. They have their own set of issues. But I think the daily wage earners are one level below the land-owning farmers in this country. And they, to pinpoint it, they have to be the worst hit even in the agricultural farm sector.
Yes. What you have shown is the women farmers.
Yes.
You see, in most of the families, what happens while the women work, they do a lot of work. Look at if you ask that ladies where their husbands have gone, the men folk are normally involved in what you call loading and unloading and going to the nearest urban areas and then working as part-time labor in the construction activity or transportation of the lorries and all that. You see, here again, as unfortunate, what has happened in the past 1 month is the entire link right from the day that those ladies are involved in plantation, then harvest. Then, in between there is a weeding operations. Most of this work is done by the women farmer. Whereas as far as the men are concerned, what happens, because the wages are low in the villages, the men labor, they opt for alternative works. Like as I told you, they're going to the cities, working as hamalis, auto drivers, rickshaw drivers, especially in the construction area, which is another very, very big hit. My own studies has shown in Delhi and Hyderabad that almost 40 to 50% people have gone back to the villages. Now look at the tragedy what has happened in this 40-50 days. This is actually a harvest time. December is a harvest time, again replantation for Rabi. Now there is, as it is, lot of mechanization has taken place and then the work is sufficient for the people. Now if you see in the last 10, 15, 20 years, why the migration taken place is because the incomes in villages are low and there is no full-time work. Therefore the people have gone to cities. Now what happened due to this demonetization, they are all coming back. What for? What do they do? What are they going to do? Honestly, I don't know. Because the government somehow hasn't, my own personal feeling is they don't understand the grassroots level, absolute grassroots level. Like I told you, the fishermen, they go to the fish and then bring about a 200-300 kg and then give it to a middleman. He transports it to Bangalore, Madras, Bombay. There again it is sold to a retailer and that retailer will sell it to this thing. What about a sheep or goat? Same way it happens. It is transported to cities and ultimately the butcher will sell daily a 50 to 100 kilos of chicken or meat to somebody. Now the system has got totally cut off. Now this is what my big worry is. Now you look at that. The people from the villages have come back. And the money that was floating from cities to the villages from construction area, it has been reduced. And in the villages itself, these poor women do not have sufficient work. And look at the another dichotomy. The produce which they are producing have no purchasers. If you see at any part of city in Delhi, even now, just now in Hyderabad, I saw 10 rupees is the cost of tomato that is being sold here in Hyderabad in this thing. Now just imagine how much will it reach after 5-6 people sharing their profits. Ultimately what the farmer gets is rupees 1 or 2. But what is the use? Your production cost itself is 6 to 7 rupees. So what is going to happen here? Let me tell you, they are going to lose. This Kharif, already there is going to be a loss. And the next plantation, there is going to be reduction of production. And another big mistake Mr. Modi has done, every year like everybody else, his government also announced minimum support price for 28 products. But where are the arrangements for procurement? Now look at, last 1 month, there is a big agitation in Maharashtra and Karnataka about pulses. Now my question is, we farmers made lot of agitations, then we made a representation, finally they come, now they started procurement. That is after 1 month. Where likewise cotton procurement, God only knows where they are. Like that rice, for example, paddy in Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, there in Bengal, for example, it is sold at a throwaway price of 1,000 rupees, whereas the minimum support price announced by Government of India is 1,275 rupees. And there is no procurement arrangements. Now you ask government, they blame each other. Now, you see, this is a circle. You see, at least till other day, the 8th November, This was happening in a knee-jerk manner. But now it is disrupted, and what will be the
Mr. Chengal Reddy.
consequence? Well, tomorrow evening by this time, please go ahead.
Mr. Chengal Reddy, I want to ask you a simple question. When the demonetization drive was announced, it was meant for the benefit of the entire country. If the entire country is ridden of black money, is ridden of an evil called as black money, then it benefits not the rich in the country, but it actually benefits the poor in the country. That was the logic and the rationale behind the demonetization drive. Now, are you questioning also the intent of the demonetization drive or only the execution? Because the intent at the end of the day is meant for the benefit of all, including the farm sector, of people who have white money and who have to bear the brunt of those with the black money.
Now, what I want to understand from Mr. Modi and also the people who advised him is fundamentally we are at loss to understand what exactly is this black money, how is it generated? As a farmer, as an activist, I know 3 areas where this black money is there. One is corruption, the second is tax evasion, the third of course is so-called Swiss money here and there are Panama money. Now I am asking Mr. Modi, if you want to control the so-called black money, is it controlling corruption and tax evasion and bringing back Swiss money? Or demonetization? I don't understand. Where is the black money with my farmers or any poor people or ordinary people who constitute about 90% of the people in this country? I don't understand. To be honest with you, I'm also I had a lot of hopes on Mr. Modi. But this demonetization, you see, as you rightly said, yes, it is good. Initially, I also supported, even now I support. Now, the definition of black money, what exactly? As I told you, these 3 fundamental things. Now, if you see in the last 3 years, has one senior bureaucrat put behind bars? Or one person in this 2G scam, coal scam, there are umpty number of scams. I'm asking Mr. Modi a simple thing. Sir, why don't you appoint a Supreme Court judge and put a team of some 20, 30 CBI people and see that in 6 months the case is decided? What rubbish it is, you mean it all goes in a routine manner, day and night, and then endless process. Now, I'm sorry. Look, let me tell you, it's not that questioning Mr. Modi. It is somewhere something is wrong, and the method of implementation, we people have started having very serious doubts on that.
Absolutely. Mr. Chengal Reddy, on day 50, the last day that was given according to the self-set deadline, it's very clear that tonight we realize that yes, the intention was good, but the implementation was the exact opposite of good. And that is because it's not us, people in cities with mobile phones and apps, who are finding it most difficult. It's because people that we don't know about, people who don't meet in the grassroots level people, the daily wage earners, the farmers who are bearing the brunt. And one fine day, that's going to have an impact on the food that those who you're watching will have on your plate. Let's hope we have better days to come from here on, at least starting with the year 2017. And with that, I'm going to thank Mr. Chengal Reddy for taking time out to be with us here on The Big Story on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you, sir. And with that, we wrap things up here on this edition of The Big Story. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.